Turn 15. We can see immediately from the messages that an event occurred in Relay after the battle in Relay, which means we didn't lose that battle. We'll find out why in a second, but before we do, let's have a look at the summary. This provides us with a butcher's bill, and from that we can calculate the rough cost of each unit and see who came out better. I lost 127 units to his 81, but as you'll see, I won this engagement. My losses first. I lost 1 slave mage. Oh well, my total gold cost was 1300. That's not insubstantial, especially for turn 15, but he lost 2600 gold. Worse than that, he lost 4 Morgan champions. They're cap only and they're mages. That's expensive. Further down, 7 Morvac knights, also cap only sacreds. They're the holy pony bastards who've been ripping me a new one. If we actually have a look at the battle, we can see what happened and why I won. First of all, notice that I broke siege. There are no walls here, he did not break my fort. I'm coming to meet him when he may or may not be prepared. As expected, my chaff meets his chaff. But his cavalry run down the sides and run into the people I put there specifically to block his cavalry. Some knights do try to get in the back. You can see these guys here. But at the top of the field, these 2 water elementals are doing the right thing. And at the bottom, well, this guy's just lost his glamour, hooray. And the meteorite guard's going to stab him, hopefully to death. Maybe not. It doesn't help me that he's got such high magic resistance. Anyway, I win. We live to fight another day. Oh, and one of the other players is actually, a contender in the game, playing the Throne of Gaia. At this point, I have to think about how I'm going to conduct this war. Sadly, luck has not been with me. I have no heroes, and I have no capability to raid at all. In this case, raiding would maybe net me some money, maybe hurt Is a bit, but I just can't do it because I haven't got anybody who can go and raid. Bollocks. By turn 16, I've got most of my mage core left, which is why I'm going for Thaumaturgy 2 here. Given that I know it will take me 5 turns to get to Conjuration 5. I don't have 5 turns. Thaumaturgy 2 gives me Mind Burn, which may kill Morgan commanders. That's when I realised that spending 2 turns with my thumb up my arse, expecting to be besieged, has cost me full-sized water elementals that could successfully resist the siege. Going to Conjuration 5 does significantly increase your power underwater. Strategically, I've got enough troops that I can now assault the province to my southwest, as you can see here. I think this is the right thing to do because it will at least give me a little more income. You'll see that my treasury is 0. At the moment, I basically have my capital, and that's it. It's looking grim for the squids. Turn 17, indeed, my research into thaumaturgy is complete. There was a battle in Starlit Whirlpool. I did win the province, but again, I lost all my chaff and a meteorite guard. That was really bad. My priest, who I've renamed to Issues, his summoning was successful, and he has a Dweller in the Deep. He's a free Mind Blaster. So, hooray! I'm moving my troops back to Relay, and I'm moving all of them. Turn 18, and it wasn't good. There was a battle in Relay, which is Is attacking my province defense and besieging me. I decided to cast Astral Protection again, because if I survive, I want to know who retreats, or who retreats north of me. Unfortunately, as you'll see from the message, a hostile mage discovered my astral cord and severed it, which means my commander is now feeble-minded and utterly useless. My new province just got slightly better. This would be great except it's about to become somebody else's province and therefore not so great. And we're under siege. Let's have a look at how bad the siege is. We've got less than 100 defense damage done, which means I've got at least one, maybe two turns until I'm actually stormed. Looking at the map, some of his siege chaff is over here in Devil's Pond, which affects my calculations of how long I've got. You'll notice I'd researched enchantment this turn, because personal regeneration improves the survivability of your communions. I have to figure out how I'm going to survive the siege. Maybe I've got something sneaky hidden in my tentacles. We'll see. Turn 20. It turns out the sneaky thing was forgetting to save turn 19. My Hail Mary is to summon some sea serpents because of their aura. You'll notice there was a battle in Relay. The feeble-minded mage I sent out to break the siege on her own. In retrospect, I should have kept her inside the fort to block the gap in our walls. Live and learn. Nothing else to see here. Straight on. Turn 21. There's a messenger from Paisha warning that I'm about to lose the game, and that Ace is very large. With two capitals, since I'm going to be the first to be eliminated, that makes Ace extremely strong. In the first siege, I did cost him a lot, but in the second one, I don't know yet, and it may not be enough to see if I've long-term crippled him and he cannot ultimately win the game. I don't know. I look forward to finding out. You can also see that Satis has claimed the throne, because Satis is actually trying to win instead of trying to survive. And I summoned some more sea serpents. They're expensive. They're 4 water gems each. But I had calculated how many water elementals I could summon, given that my mages are going to go into fatigue, how many water gems I had, and how many astral pearls, because you can bet I alchemized a lot of them into water. I don't believe in death baskets, they seem naff to me. To the victor go the spoils. And the game helpfully tells me that my citadel has been cracked. It's all going down in turn 22. A quick look at the messages, and we have been permanently vanquished. There's a general message from Is telling everybody that his intentions are entirely benign. Marignan have claimed a throne. The more important one is our own battle. Let's have a look. You can see that Is has the substantial force that we saw already. On the other hand, I do not have much, except some sea serpents. They have a lot of hit points. Their natural weapon is to bite you and poison you, so they are poison resistant. But the key thing, as far as I was concerned, is that they cause fear. My intention was to have them here and stop the gap. Let's see what actually happened. That's enough of that. I screwed up. My scripting was terrible. I put them in the wrong place, and they all bunch up on one side of the breach instead of actually blocking it. My strategy did have some effect. Is had sent some spearmen to soak up the initial damage, and those spearmen are indeed terrifying. But ultimately, I'm outmatched. If I had not made a mess of the scripting, maybe things would have been different, but oh well. It was a war well fought, but a war we lost. So let's round it up. My major mistake was right at the beginning. I looked at the numbers of Tritons in this province particularly and thought there were too many for my initial expansion army to take. If I had moved that army to kill the Tritons and then moved north to take the Kalulus, I'd be in a much stronger position. I did not need to fight the war. I was prepared to go to war, but didn't really understand the logistics of ultimately trying to win it. It was played well. I made some critical mistakes. Oh well, it's a learning experience, and have no doubt, Rely will rise again. Thanks for watching this rather short series, and cheerio.